Imagine if time were a tangible object that we could hold in our hands. What would it look like? Would it be a glittering jewel that we treasure and hoard, or a burden that we're constantly struggling to carry? In reality, time is a slippery concept that we all grapple with every day. We talk about saving time, wasting time, and even killing time, but what does any of that really mean? Perhaps the most fascinating thing about time is that it's both finite and infinite at the same time. Each moment passes irretrievably, never to be regained, but there always seems to be more time ahead of us, stretching out into the future. And yet, despite our obsession with time and our constant attempts to control it, time ultimately remains an enigma. It's something we can measure, but we can never fully grasp or understand. So, what is time? Is it a friend or a foe? A blessing or a curse? That's for you to decide. Time is a fundamental concept that affects every aspect of our lives. It's not just a linear progression from past to present to future, it's a multidimensional phenomenon that can be explored in many different ways. One dimension of time is its effect on our physical bodies. We age, we experience the passing of days and seasons, and we witness the birth and death of all living things around us. Our perception of time is influenced by our experiences, and it can feel different depending on our circumstances. Another dimension of time is its role in the larger universe. Time is intimately connected to space, and the two dimensions are intertwined in ways that scientists are still working to understand. The expansion of the universe, the formation of galaxies and stars, and the eventual collapse of the universe are all intimately tied to the concept of time. But perhaps the most fascinating dimension of time is its psychological impact. Our perception of time is not just influenced by external factors, it's also shaped by our internal states of mind. When we're absorbed in an activity we enjoy, time can seem to fly by. Conversely, when we're bored or anxious, time can feel like it's dragging on forever. Philosophers, scientists, and theologians have long grappled with the concept of time and its significance. Some philosophers, such as Immanuel Kant, have argued that time is not an objective feature of the world, but rather a product of our mind's structure. In his Critique of Pure Reason, Kant writes that time is not a thing, but a necessary condition for the possibility of things. This view suggests that time is a human construct that allows us to make sense of the world around us. On the other hand, scientists like Albert Einstein have presented a different perspective on time. Einstein's theory of relativity shows that time is not absolute, but rather is relative to the observer's motion and position. As Einstein famously said, the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. This view suggests that time is a fundamental aspect of the universe that is intertwined with space and gravity. Theologians have also offered their own thoughts on the nature of time. In Christian theology, time is often seen as a finite and created aspect of the universe, with its beginning marked by God's act of creation. As St. Augustine famously wrote in his Confessions, "What, then, is time? If no one asks me, I know what it is. If I wish to explain it to him who asks, I do not know." This view suggests that time has a divine origin and purpose, even as it remains a mystery to human understanding. Time is a valuable commodity that we can't afford to waste. It's an irreplaceable resource that we need to manage, plan, and allocate properly. Time is critical to our success, our happiness, and our well-being. When we manage our time efficiently, we feel more productive, accomplished, and fulfilled. We have time to pursue our passions, our hobbies, and our relationships. We have time to live our lives fully and on our terms. Managing time is easier said than done. We're constantly bombarded with distractions, interruptions, and unexpected events that can sidetrack us from our goals. That's why it's essential to have a plan, a system, or a set of principles that can help us organize our lives around our priorities. Some popular time management techniques include the Pomodoro Technique, the Eisenhower Matrix, the Pareto Principle, and the GTD, Getting Things Done, method. Each of these approaches has its strengths and weaknesses, but they all share a common objective: to optimize our time and make the most of our day. I have created video on time management. You can check the link on the video description. Despite all our best efforts to manage time, there will be moments in our lives when time seems to escape us. It's in these moments that we need to remind ourselves to be present in the moment. Thank you for watching to the end. See you in the next video.